Just wanted to record because there was a lot of thoughts on my mind today. Yesterday, I saw this video on someone had posted on social media, and it was pretty harrowing actually to watch this video, and I couldn't actually watch it. I think I managed to watch it in clips, but I really couldn't watch the video. And anyone who's been following, who watches these videos or blogs, I refer to these people, the Freemasons. Richard, you'll see it's there. I call him quite openly a paedophile, and as they harass me and quite brutally at times, I have to say, and I react and saying for a long time now, he's a paedophile. I've been saying it for ages. But I think it affected me a lot when I saw the video, because it brings home the reality of the situation, and it's not a joke. It's really not a joke. And when you see another human being, kind of as I did, it really brings it home to you. At least it did to me. And it took me back to when I met this guy, and this whole gang of people in 2017. And I remember quite clearly and quite vividly, it will stay with me for the rest of my life. I remember the guy, doing all the stuff about the mind. I've been working on the book now about the mind. I'm finishing it, basically putting it in. It's all done. I'm just proofreading it, and doing all the stuff that they do with the mind. But I remember, and that's in a way that's been easier to talk about, even though it's not easy, but it's been easier to talk about than the other stuff that they showed me. But it kind of took me back to that, because when this guy Richard showed me what he was doing in his club to someone, it traumatized me. It traumatized me. It shocked me. I'd never seen anything like that in my life, and I don't want to. And that's where it took me back to, seeing that, and seeing this woman. She was about, I don't know, 50 odd, maybe 60 or something like that. And she was talking about what happened to her when these people, wealthy, powerful people, it has to be said, people in positions of power and responsibility, got hold of her. And it was harrowing. And that's what it took me back to. It took me back to September 2017, when I met these people, when I met this guy, and he showed me a ritual that he was doing. And like I said, back then it was pretty sickening. I remember the whole of the next day. I just felt sick the whole day. And it stayed with me a long time. And it's been, to be honest, it's just been hell, because, to be in a situation where, no one even believes I'm under surveillance. I can't even get anyone to believe me. And then I know all these things about these people, and these people are really cruel. They're really, really cruel. And I knew it. I knew it back then. I was scared for my life back then. You know, and I remember in 2018, I barely came out my house because I saw what he did. And the whole fabrication of evidence, it was mental. But watching this video, it just took me back to it. It really took me back to it, and it brought home the reality, and it's real. It's real. You know, that's the thing which I couldn't get my head around when I met this guy and these people. It was actually, it's not, sometimes you hear these things and, you know, and like I said, you band these words about and say, oh, he's a paedophile and this and that. But the fact is, it's real. And when you watch that, when you see that woman and you listen to her stories, it brings it home. It's real. It happens to people. And it happens, and that's what they do. That's what they do. And I keep saying it. That's what I know. You know, you think about all this effort they're going to for me. You know, and I keep saying, how much are they hiding? A lot.
I was 10 years old.
And like I said, you band these words about and say, oh, he's a paedophile and this and that. But the fact is, it's real. And when you watch that, when you see that woman and you listen to her stories, it brings it home. It's real. It happens to people. And it happens, and that's what they do. That's what they do. And I keep saying it. That's what I know. You know, you think about all this effort they're going to for me. You know, and I keep saying, how much are they hiding? A lot. I'm not one to stay quiet. I think they really misjudge me. And I'm not one, you know, who will... I just basically say it how it is, whether I'm believed or not. And they know that, you know. They got no interest in taking me in. Absolutely no interest in taking me in. They started to... They don't even hide their Freemasons anymore. They stopped. They gave up ages ago hiding their Freemasons. You know, and again, today, another example. I started working on the book. Within a few minutes, you know, they send a vehicle past and they do it again. And like I said, it's nothing even to do with... they don't even hide it. The fact is nothing to do with the club. They're quite open about it. But they're not open about the things they do in there. That's the things that they want you to hide.
I know that it's easy to say, well, the politicians are all corrupt. But then it's a little bit harder to think that a politician who's corrupt also rapes and kills children. I think that's where we have to draw the line. We say, no, that I can't believe. It's a personal betrayal for everyone. If that's what our world leaders are doing, well, it's really no wonder that the world looks like what it looks like today. It's no wonder that there is so much hunger and poverty in the world, and that the resources of the world are being hoarded by a few. That this is an addiction that any junkie that you find on the street that has to shoot up and will do anything to get that next high, that these people are no better. These people have an amazing brain and intellect, and it makes them all the more dangerous to the world. That is an addiction to power. It's an addiction that I know everything about because I was really badly abused. I know what it's like to feel silly and to be laughed at. I can relate to the need to cover over this lack of self-esteem with something from the outside, some status, something that gives me importance from the outside. Sometimes something that gives me that robe, that invisible robe of power, that everyone is just going to look up to me.
So it was really sad watching the film. I couldn't watch it, but it's a reality. That's the reality of our world. Things like this happen. You know, every police officer who's been involved in watching me, in harassing me, in persecuting me, in following me, every police officer who's been involved in this needs to watch that video. They need to watch that video to understand why they're harassing me. And it's because of him. This is what he is. That's the truth. This is what he is. And there are people like that. There are people like that who do this. It's not just him. It's not just a whole load of them. It's the reality. Some powerful people, some really rich, powerful people. There's the whole thing with Jeffrey, what's his name? Epstein. The whole thing with this guy, you know, conveniently killed himself. The woman, Maxwell, was the only one who's been prosecuted. She was getting kids. She was getting them for people. Who are those people? Why haven't those people been prosecuted? Why haven't they been found? Why don't we know who they are? All they've done, they've basically just snicked her and it's all gone quiet. It's horrific, the things that go on in this world. It's absolutely horrific. And I think more and more about the quote from the Bible, from, I think it was Matthew, another one from Matthew. They walk amongst you, wolf in sheep's clothing. It's classic. It just sums it up. It just sums it up. People, you think ostensibly they're there to keep you safe. You think, actually, you know, they're people you can trust. These are some of the most hideous, biggest monsters you'll ever know. Yeah. So that was it. I needed to get it off my mind today. I've been working on it, but it stayed with me. And that's what it was like when I met Richard and Jane and Alice. And they all know, like I've said it all before, they all know what he is. They're all in the club. You know, they know what's going on. They know they've broken oaths. They know that I shouldn't know all this stuff. There's no way I should know half of what I know. I shouldn't know a fraction of what I know. And they all know it. They all know they've screwed up. It's incredible. It's incredible. But I'm going to keep posting that. I don't really know. I don't really know what to do. You know, in this situation, you're just continually hounded, but you cling to the truth as well. And you know, the more they do, it's okay, because I think of what those kids went through, to be honest. And it's nothing compared to what I'm going through. This is nothing. Honest to God, this is nothing. There was another video by a Hollywood producer. He produced The Hunger Games. I don't remember his name. And I was watching the video, and he was very passionate in how he talked and some of the things he was talking about. You know, there's a real evil. There's a real evil in this world. And it's dressed itself up as goodness. Everything is upside down. Everything is upside down. You know, that's what I've learned. And it's a great shame, because I don't believe all those coppers are in the club. I don't believe they're all racist, and I don't believe they're all bent. I don't believe they're all Freemasons. You know, there must be some good people there. And I just wonder how the hell, even if you hate me, even if you're racist, you don't like my skin colour, you know, even the bottom line is that he's a paedophile and he's covering it up. You know, it's taken me a long time to say that. I talk a lot about the mind, about this stuff, because it's so sick. It's so sick. I can't even tell you about what he showed me. I've never, even after 6 years, I've never talked about it explicitly. I will one day, though. And that's it for now.